Ms. Abdu, I'm going to follow up with the question that Chairman asked you. I heard your answer. I'm sure it's a very sincere answer. But with the organization that you're now connected with, I have some questions about your feeling towards some of the positions they've taken. Since 2019, you've worked for the center. During that time, the center has labeled several organizations like the American Family Association, the Alliance for Defending Freedom, the Family Research Council, and multiple Christian nonprofit organizations as hate groups. Do you agree with the center's decision to characterize these organizations as hate group? And if not, have you taken any action to address the center's labeling of Christian organizations that way?
Thank you, Senator Grassley. As you stated, I started with the SPLC about 3 years ago, and I was hired by the organization to lead its voting rights program. In that capacity, I have been in the organization's legal department, and it's a big organization. So I haven't been a part of the branch of SPLC that monitors and researches and profiles anti-government groups and other outside organizations. So I can't speak, unfortunately, to the research again that led to the organization's decision to profile those organizations in those ways.
Would you consider those organizations as a hate group?
Senator, I wouldn't even be able to comment to that because I'm not as familiar with those organizations in terms of the work that they do, their mission, and again, why SPLC profiled them in that way.
Well, they aren't less well-known organizations, at least in this town, and I would think you would know what they're up to or not up to. So let me move on. The center and its founder, Morris Dees, has been very controversial. On that, there seems to be some bipartisan agreement. As one civil rights and anti-death penalty attorney wrote in 2007 letter, quote, Morris Dees is a con man and crown fraud, and I and others, such as U.S. Circuit Judge Cecil Poole, have observed, end of quote. Numerous articles have stated the same. The deeply ingrained issues of the center have been known since at least 1995. One of its former staffers said it is, quote, unquote, a virtual buffet of injustices. Uh, there is also some hypocrisy in the sense that the Southern Poverty Law Center's latest financial shows that it's sitting on assets worth $500 million. Given all that, why did you choose to work at the organization that a staffer described as a virtual buffet of injustices?
Senator Grassley, when I joined the SPLC 3 years ago, as you noted, it was during a time when the organization was going through some changes. In fact, Mr. Dees left the organization very soon after I started. I joined SPLC because of the organization's overall commitment to advancing racial justice with a focus on the South. And in that role, it's been my responsibility to ensure that all people, but especially people of color living in the South of the United States, have equal access and are able to exercise their fundamental right to vote. It is that commitment to racial justice that has led me to continue the work that I've dedicated my career so far to, even within the SPLC.
Okay, this will have to be my last question. The center is infamous for its work labeling groups as hate groups. For years, there's been repeated examples of the center targeting mainstream conservative groups that disagree with us. As Mark Potok, a former senior fellow and editor-in-chief of the center's journal, stated, quote, sometimes the press will describe as monitoring hate groups and so on. I want to say plainly that our aim in life is to destroy these groups, to completely destroy them, end of quote. Can you point to any documented example of the centers renouncing Mr. Potok's statements? And did you consider this mission when you chose to work in your present position?
Senator Grassley, in response to your first question, the answer is I'm not familiar, again, with the organization's research and profiling of individuals or outside groups, including anti-government groups. However, I can say that, again, my commitment to equal justice under law, to racial justice, to ensuring that all people are able to exercise their constitutional and fundamental rights has been the focus of my work with the Southern Poverty Law Center, and I'm very proud of the work that I've done in that capacity.
The only reaction I would have to what you told me is this, that you say you don't know about the work on this. Just reading current events over a period of several years, you would pick up some of this information about the center. So I can't accept that you don't know anything about what this organization does in regard to labeling certain groups a certain way. I yield.
Thank you,